Unemployment spikes in Washington, D.C. as Trump and Musk begin efforts to shrink the government. So apparently, jobless filings are up 36% versus the prior week in D.C. That's 1,780 workers. And since Trump has taken office, nearly 4,000 workers in the city have filed for unemployment insurance. That's not a bad gig they're getting, actually, if you think about it, at least in the short term. I mean, they're getting, severance pay through September. So what is that, 6, 7, 8 months, whatever it is. Plus, they're getting unemployment insurance. And I'm assuming they probably run concurrent. So I had said previously I feel bad for these federal workers, but you know what? Honestly, I don't. To be perfectly honest with you. So here's a graph showing initial unemployment claims in the District of Columbia, and you can see this huge spike here from January 25th up to February 8th. And so, I mean, that looks kind of dramatic in that chart, but in reality, it's just a scratch of the surface. There's a lot more that could and should be done. That's the Chernobyl power plant. So apparently, a drone equipped with a high explosive warhead hit this containment building, which is the site of the Chernobyl power plant, nuclear power plant disaster in Ukraine from 1986. And you can see this hole in the top looks like there's a fire in there, but as we'll see in a minute, it doesn't appear as though radiation was released, because here's a close-up of it, a different shot, but a close-up. Apparently, obviously the fire's out. It's daylight, and here's these two guys up here and dressed in what looks like, blue jeans and maybe some coats and gloves and hard hats, but certainly not radiation protection suits. So I guess, that is a good thing, because apparently that would suggest that there's not a radiation leak. But the idea that somebody um, fired on that facility, whether that's a false flag, whether, I don't know. Do you guys think, did Zelensky do that to himself, or did Russia actually do that, or is it something completely different? False flags, as shocking as that is to think about or hard to believe, it does happen. There's plenty of cases of that happening, and with everything that's going on in the news, with Trump talking with Putin for an hour and a half, and Zelensky demanding this, that, and the other thing, I would argue that it's just as likely that Zelensky is responsible for that as Putin. So I don't know. It's just my opinion. But so there's that. And then let's get back up here to the top here. So eruption in bleach bit wipe hard drive rather, offshore bank searches have spiked in DC. As apparently there's some people in panic mode. This is according to Zero Hedge. He's awesome. Thank you. Credit to Zero Hedge. So this article is talking about internet searches in Washington, D.C. And the trend has been here recently searches for criminal defense lawyer and RICO laws. RICO law meaning, RICO charge, RICO statute, and what is a RICO law. Those are all internet searches around Washington, D.C. that have spiked recently, as well as Swiss bank, offshore bank, wire money, and IBAN. If you're not sure what IBAN stands for, that's an international bank account number. So apparently people want they want to wire their money out to an offshore bank, maybe a Swiss bank, and they need an IBAN to do that. And they're searching Google on how to do that. The blue is the IBAN. So apparently that's, a huge spike in the number of people trying to figure out how they can get their money, their ill-gotten money, more than likely, money that they stole or siphoned off or embezzled or whatever term you want to use, and get it out of the country. And then also there's been a spike in searches for, this is around DC, for wipe and erase, as in wipe hard drive and erase hard drive. So apparently that's also a thing. People are wanting to, they're trying to evaporate the proverbial skeletons in their closet, and also bleach bit too. That sounds familiar. Was that a Hillary Clinton thing? Somebody, not in years gone by, came out that they had wiped hard drives using something called BleachBit, if you guys remember that. And then there was a 400% increase in searches for lawyer. Wow, man, it just gets better and better, and as well as statute of limitations. So yeah, so oh, there we go. We're going to X. No, we're not. Goodbye, X. Okay, so there's that, and then so this is kind of interesting. So this article from Wallet Hub is talking about the percent of high school diploma holders, the best states and the worst states. The best state would be Vermont, Montana, Maine, New Hampshire, and Wyoming. The worst, Nevada, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and California. I was kind of surprised by Texas and California, but maybe the numbers are skewed due to the excessive amount of illegal immigrants in those states. Maybe that's the difference. And then when you get into college degrees, the best states, Colorado, Utah, Washington, Minnesota, Oregon, and the worst states, Mississippi, Kentucky, Louisiana, Arkansas, and West Virginia. I am not surprised by that. I mean, you know, when you get out of high school and your choice is, you know, just go to work or go to college, as opposed to going to college, I'm guessing a lot of these folks in Mississippi, Kentucky, Louisiana, Arkansas, and West Virginia maybe went to a trade school instead. I don't know. I'm just guessing at that, but any rate, I thought that was interesting. And then, this is so stupid. Democrats introduced legislation to fine men for that. And two Democratic state representatives in Ohio have introduced legislation that would see men fined for doing that if they don't intend on having a baby. So under this bill that's being proposed, which is nothing more than a joke, and just asinine, even according to the people that put it out there. A man engaging in unprotected sex without the intention of having a baby, first offense would be charged $1,000, second offense $5,000, third offense $10,000. And even the lawmakers acknowledge that the bill is utterly stupid. Okay, so why are you doing it then? They say they're doing it, and their intent is to call out the hypocrisy of bills that regulate women's bodies. Okay, I get that. But don't you have more important things to do? I mean, are we paying you to go to Washington and spend time, money, and energy introducing stupid bills? Your words, stupid bills. It's wow. Like, come on, people. Anger, chaos, and confusion take hold of federal workers as they face mass layoffs. Yeah. So federal workers were responding with anger and confusion Friday as they grappled with the Trump administration's latest effort to shrink the size of the federal workforce by ordering agencies to lay off probationary employees who have yet to qualify for civil service protections. Let's define civil service protections. It's the legal safeguard designed to protect federal government employees from political influence and ensure they can perform their duties based on merit and expertise. Okay, we can stop right there. Merit and expertise from a federal government employee? Are you serious? Come on now. Merit and expertise rather than political affiliation. The protections are grounded in the merit system established by the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act of 1883, which aimed to end the patronage or spoils system and ensure that federal employees are hired and fired based on merit. Oh, hired on merit. Yep, got that one. How about fired based on incompetency? Because my experience has been that, calling anything .gov it just makes my skin crawl just to think about it. So there's that. So Musk reveals Iron Mountain mine nightmare. Doge is investigating a limestone mine in Pennsylvania where federal employee retirements are processed manually. I posted a video about this a couple of days ago where he was at the World Government Summit, I guess it was, and he was talking about this. And I was like, it just sounded so stupid. I'm like, that has got to be a joke, but apparently it's real. So federal employee retirements are processed using paper by hand in an old limestone mine in Pennsylvania. 700 plus mine workers operate 230 feet underground to process roughly 10,000 applications per month, which are stored in manila envelopes and cardboard boxes. The retirement process takes multiple months. This is according to Elon Musk. And look at the look on his face. And look, there's the Iron Mountain. There's the entrance. And wow, that's just unbelievable. And apparently, because of this slow, antiquated system, only 10,000 federal employees can retire a month because it takes so long to process the paperwork and sort through millions of manila envelopes. Wow, that is unbelievable. He described the Iron Mountain mine as a time warp, slowing down a completely manual federal retirement process. Wow, is that not something? That is unbelievable. Uh, this is from Fox News, by the way. You guys probably saw that, but so Doge has identified a number of different wasteful programs. The first one is the EPA said it had located $20 billion, $20 billion with a B, within the agency. And apparently that Biden allegedly and his administration knew that they were wasting that money. An extremely disturbing video circulated 2 months ago featuring a Biden EPA political appointee talking about how they were, quote unquote, tossing gold bars off the Titanic, rushing to get billions of your tax dollars out the door before Trump's inauguration. The quote unquote gold bars were tax dollars, and tossing them off the Titanic meant the Biden administration knew they were wasting it, vowing to recover the gold bars that were found parked at an outside financial institution. Wow. Yeah, they need to go to that financial institution and they need to just freeze that money, claw that money back, in my opinion. That is just unbelievable. FEMA, the government's leading disaster relief arm, gave over $59 million to house illegal immigrants in luxury New York City hotels. Whoa. Oh, apparently they're doing a really crappy job at it, because look at this. Look at this, people. Look at all these people on the streets here. I mean, that is unbelievable, man. You know, you spend all that money and then you still have all these people sleeping on the streets. I mean, come on, that's just ridiculous. Wow. Of the 59.3 million, 19 million was for direct hotel costs, while the balance funded other services such as food and security. What a frickin' waste of money. Here's another picture of the great job FEMA's doing. Here outside the Roosevelt Hotel. Look at all this. What a disaster. Look at that, man. From the Roosevelt Hotel. Isn't that something? That is unbelievable to me. Wow. Here's a good one. Pentagon wasted thousands on coffee cups and soap dispensers. Okay. A congressional inquiry in 2018 found the Air Force was spending $1,300 for each reheatable coffee cup aboard one of its aircraft. Huh. The Air Force spent $32,000 replacing 25 cups, according to Senator Chuck Grassley, Republican, Iowa. Unfrickin' believable. A 2-year audit by the Defense Department Inspector General last year found that Boeing overcharged the Air Force by 8,000% for soap dispensers. The Defense Department overpaid $149,072 for soap dispensers because they were getting ripped off by Boeing. Or maybe they weren't getting ripped off. Maybe they knew damn well they were overpaying by 8,000%, but they did it anyway. And that aside, I personally would not want a soap dispenser from Boeing. It'd probably fall off the wall. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. And here we are back to U.S. aid, including Sesame Street in Iraq. Wow, isn't that great? So U.S. aid authorized a whopping $20 million to create a Sesame Street in Iraq. Wow. Does anybody besides me not care about having Sesame Street in Iraq? I mean, let Iraq have whatever street they want as long as it doesn't cost us $20 million. That's just, that's just unbelievable, man. And I could go on and on and on about this stuff, but I'm not going to because it's just too much. But any rate, that's all I got for right now. I appreciate you guys. Please like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one. Bye.